So Juggernaut has a very, very diverse item build. I can literally give you an hour-long coaching session just on Juggernaut's items. In fact, if you go onto my YouTube profile, which you can get to if you go to my coaching profile, and if you search for Juggernaut on my previous coaching sessions, there's one video where I actually went over the full items for Juggernaut with one of my students who was around 3K. So pretty much that's what the Juggernaut's item is going to be like. So first thing is really the boots, the boot choices. And for Juggernaut, you only have two boot choices. It's going to be either base boots or treads. And when you build treads, you are literally going to keep them on strength treads. And it's a very rare case, really, that you're going to get treads on a Juggernaut. I don't think I've built treads on Juggernaut anytime in the past, but the only moment that you're gonna build treads is if you can guarantee your supports have somebody to lock the enemy people down, so that when you spin, you don't need phase to chase them. Also, you are looking to man fight people, or there is a fair bit of tank. There's a fair bit of nukes in the enemy team, and you just want to tank up. So you're pretty much going to go for strength treads straight into Vanguard. So basically, that's already within 12 minutes, you've actually put up 200 HP from treads and 250 HP from Vanguard. So you've got a total of almost 450 HP at 12 minutes in extra. So you're super tanky, so you don't care that much about the Lina or the Lion nuking down or something like that. So that's one option. But really, in the lane, most of the times you're going to go for the phase boots, and then for the extra, then you have to decide: do I want to go Aquila first? You're going to get Aquila, right? You have to get Aquila. That's like
I have
just a
to get a
given.
kilo.
Yeah, that's just
Oh,
a given. That's like almost every Juggernaut is going to go Aquila. So the only point that you're not going to go Aquila is when you actually go for Battle Fury. And the Battle Fury choice is something that I would ask you to lean away from as much as possible, because it's when to make Battle Fury is really a case of understanding if you are going to get if you're going to get the chance to farm the Battle Fury. Like looking at this team right away, right off the bat, looking at the Morphling, you are not going to get a chance to farm the Battle Fury, because this guy is completely useless until like 25 minutes into the game. Let's see when he actually got his. Wow, this idiot. He got his first useful item. Okay, so let's say 30 minutes is when he can actually be active on the map. So pretty much until 30 minutes,
mm-hmm.
you guys are 4v5. So if you are farming Battle Fury, that means that up until 25 to 30 minutes, you guys are actually 3v5. Obviously, you have to look at the enemy team as well. Are they building these long late game items? And looking at this team, definitely not. Slark gets his Shadow Blade 15 minutes in, he's fighting. This girl gets her whatever Blink or Shadow Blade 10, 15 minutes in, she's fighting. This guy's fighting as from minute 6. This person is just fighting constantly from level 6. This guy, so these guys are constantly fighting. There is absolutely no way this with this draft you guys would have won regardless of what you did, because you guys just come
Oh,
online too late and these guys are too early, and you guys have no like control for this team. This Night Stalker doesn't fit in anywhere at all, and like it, So it's this
yeah.
kind of a situation. Like looking at these two lineups, I don't think even I could have won this game if I was playing Juggernaut. To be very honest with
Oh.
you. To be,
So
to be
say if you was the fifth pick, what kind of hero would you have gone?
If I was fifth pick here, I would
Yep.
let the Morphling carry. I would let this guy off lane, and I would have gone in the mid lane. I would have probably gone for a Quasvex Invoker.
Oh, what is that? What you gone?
Quasvex Invoker,
Invoker. Oh, okay,
probably.
okay.
Either a Quasvex Invoker or Magnus, maybe even a Magnus, maybe Puck. Puck would have been really nice here. But some hero that can stop these guys from constantly doing what they want to do and give some control to my team. Anyway, So, point being that Battle Fury is something that you should just generally just avoid, if you can, just avoid it. But if you once you get to a bit higher level and you see the teams and you're like, okay, this game is going to go a bit late. I'm going to get lots of space, so I'm going to farm the Battle Fury. So you farm the Battle Fury, and then the game is going to go really, really smooth for you. Then obviously next choices are less important, really, because you're just going to be stacking so much farm. Really depends on the game. So after phase, you get Aquila. After Aquila, well, after phase, or even not even after phase. So the first few things that you have to ask yourself in the lane are: am I getting harassed a lot? If you're getting harassed a lot, this is we're talking about 0 0 minutes. If you're getting harassed, actually, let's just jump into a game and then we can talk about these things. So, which game do you want to jump in?
This okay. Let's see what game is good.
Did you get one
Maybe
session or two sessions?
I got 1 hour. I can buy 2 hour if
No,
that's
no,
what you're
that's fine.
thinking.
That's fine. No, no, I was just wondering because, like, if you wanted to go over, because
We can
Juggernaut
go.
is the thing with Juggernaut is that he is such a versatile hero that if I tell you one way to play Juggernaut, you should stop
Yeah.
listening to me because that is not what that hero is. That Juggernaut is a hero that you can literally first pick as a carry, and no other. You cannot say that about any other carry simply because there's so many things you can do with a Juggernaut, and he fits in every single lineup. He's just all round, hugely versatile hero. That's what his strength is. That you can
Okay.
literally do anything you want.
Yeah. Well, you see the 31-19 right there, the rank match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's download this and start looking at. So, looking at this lineup once again, you have a probably mid. Wow, this is not a good game to watch, dude.
Okay. Okay.
This is a total storm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
this
watch
is a
another.
total storm.
Um, what about 32-11? All the way down. 30 up right there.
This looks like a bit of a storm as well, but we can watch this. Was this Sand King versus Juggernaut?
What is that?
Was the Sand King offlane?
I totally forgot. I don't remember.
Maybe, probably it is. Well, could have been the Beaver as well. So this might be a good game to watch. So um, when you have a hard lane as a Juggernaut, you so Juggernaut is, as we said, he's a versatile hero. It's not just his items that he can be very versatile with. It's also his skills. He can pretty much, depending on situation, he can have either of his three spells as his first skill or the first one that he maxed. You never ever want to put a skill point in Juggernaut's any of Juggernaut's abilities this early on. Almost like until you need it. Like even if you get to the lane and you're like, this is a lane where I'm gonna need this particular ability. Don't level it up until you need it. You don't need it because what you can just do is you can press control and slam that ability and it'll level up automatically. So you don't even
Yeah.
waste time. So do not level up that ability. For
Oh, okay.
example, in this particular situation, if there is a Sand King in the offlane, there's absolutely no point getting the Blade Fury. You actually need 2 or maybe 3 points of healing board, and you need uh, mana regen because you're going to need to constantly be getting mana regen because this guy's completely going to destroy you in that lane if you don't have some um, if you don't have your healing board. This ability actually
Okay.
does nothing for you at all. On top of that, you have okay, maybe you're gonna have Rubik in the lane, but Rubik's lift is not that amazing early on. So having your skill level, also your skill level one, it although it does a fair decent amount of damage, like eight fives or 40s does 400 damage. Regardless, if you can't keep the person in one place, it's not going to do damage. So you pretty much have to chase people down. And when you don't have movement speed, most likely the offlaner is going to have some sort of movement speed. Maybe not. Maybe if he doesn't, he has some sort of escape. So you can't deal that much damage. So you really need to think about these things before you level them up, and you can't think about these things until you know who's in the offlane. For example, if it's a Phoenix, then you definitely want this because you want to you want to purge away the fire spirits with your Blade Fury. You know,
Okay.
if it's a Weaver, once again, you need if it's a Weaver in your lane, there is no point in putting a single point in Blade Fury throughout the laning phase.
Oh.
You're actually gonna max out your healing board maybe, or maybe don't not max it out, but you're definitely gonna put 2 or 3 points in healing board, and maybe the rest in blade dance, or maybe even you put 2 points in healing board early, and then you start maxing this out so that you can farm jump or something. But it really depends
Is
on.
is there ever a time where you would max out like the stats first?
No, absolutely no.
No, never.
No,
Okay.
not on any hero. Never max. Never put points in stats early on. The few exceptions, the rare exceptions, are Tinker, because you're not actually going to put points in his ultimate because it's not good because you don't have mana to sustain it. So you might as well just put points in stats. Another
Oh.
hero is maybe Wraith King. You don't want to put points in his stun because it just doesn't scale. It's just a horrible scaling stun. The
Mhm.
stun duration stays the same, but the damage is just 50 damage more. And you pretty much do, if you put 1 point in stats, that's like giving you 40 HP. So you can either have 40 constant HP per stat or have 50 extra damage per, stun, which is, whenever you throw it. So it's just not good. So
Okay.
this is like these are maybe the only two. Say okay, yeah, okay. So Sven as well. Instead of having more points in Stormhammer, you just put points in your you just keep it at one, and then you max out your stats first. So these are like and even then, if you do max like don't put points in stats, it's fine. Just keep in mind 1 point in
Oh.
stats, 1 point in this gives you two. It gives you what it gives you is exactly worth two Ironwood branches. It gives you two attributes, which means it gives you 40 HP, gives you 24 mana, and the agility is negligible, the armor is negligible, like the regen is negligible, the damage is negligible. So literally, the only thing that stats give you, as far as you should be concerned, is the 40 HP and 24 mana. So if you think that one of your hero's abilities is actually worse than even 40 HP, then sure,
Mhm.
go ahead and level the stats.
Oh.
So yeah, you never ever want to level up stats because every single one of Juggernaut's abilities is so much better than stats. Like definitely. Anyway, so carrying on, this is as far as the skills are concerned. Now, looking at the item build, as we said, once you come to the lane, you want to think about, okay, I am not being harassed at all, but I can harass the enemy. So if that's the case, or I have a kill potential on enemy. So if you have a kill potential on enemy, 100% you want to rush phase. But if you feel like you're getting harassed a little bit,
Yeah.
you want to go straight for the ring of health. Now, looking at your starting items, first off, you've only got one set of tangos. You first of all, even before the tangos, you never ever want to buy a sculling blade with your first 625 gold. That should never ever happen
Oh.
because almost every item that you can get from this side, you never ever want to buy starting off, except for this stout shield, simply because you're going to need the stout shield as soon as the waves meet, and you kind of need it from the very beginning. So you have to have the stout shield, but region wise, although you have your healing board, but you don't really have the mana to sustain yourself if you use even single healing word because one healing word costs 140 mana. You don't even have like enough for two. Well,
Yeah.
you have enough for two spells, I guess. Yeah, you have, no 140, and that's where is it 260. Okay, so you don't even have mana for two spells. So that's the problem. Like you're not gonna be using healing word. So what you need is at least two sets of regen on a hero like Juggernaut because he's fairly squishy now. It depends. Once again, it does depend on who you're offlaning against. Let's say you're offlaning against a Pudge. In that case, you just need one set of tankers. You don't need much, right?
Oh.
If you can guarantee it's an offlane single Pudge, but things like that you can never guarantee. If you have an offlane, this guy, you're gonna get decimated. You want to have two sets of tangos and a salve and a stout shield. That's what your starting item should be. If you're laning against this weaver, you want to have at least two sets of regen and a stout shield. If you're laning against this guy, you once again want to have two sets of, because all three of these guys lay super harass on you. So
Yeah.
you need to have lots of regen. Then I can guarantee you, I can 100% guarantee you, whichever one of these heroes come to your lane, especially Sand King, you're going to struggle so much with HP regen, right?
Okay.
Um, when you struggle with HP regen, that means you farm less. That means you don't get the appropriate farm. So then harassing and getting a kill potential completely goes out the window. You can't even get the farm up. You can't get the farm up, you're not even a carry, right?
Yeah.
So that like, just because you had poor starting items, like after about 4 minutes, if you start dying or something, or if you can't farm, there's no point of looking at this replay, because literally the first thing in the game that you did so wrong that the effects are going to ripple throughout the game, and then there's no point looking at the rest of the game. So there's
Uh.
no there's no point even talking about further items of Juggernaut. And looks like it's going to be just a Phoenix in here. So out of these three, Phoenix is possibly the least scary hero, and also you leveled up the right ability to deal with Phoenix. The only thing is, so on Juggernaut, what I like to do is I like to get uh, uh, a Tango, a Salve, a Stout Shield, and a Mango as my starting items. The reason for that Mango is because Juggernaut has very low mana pool, and you can actually get, with that Mango, you can get a kill. That Mango equivalates to a kill. Now, usually I will end up having that Mango in my inventory until I have level 6. And really, that's when, because at level 6 you do not have enough mana to pop your Omnislash and your Blade Fury right after. So you need the Mango to use whichever skill you want to use the next one. So
Oh.
usually, if it's in the middle of a creep wave, you're going to be using Blade Fury to kill down all the creep wave while you're damaging the enemy, and then you're going to pop your ult, etc. So whatever the case is, but you need the Mango for that. So
Okay.
regardless, against the Phoenix, it's wow, wow. Okay, here we go. That's what I like to see. So you've got a Sand King plus a Phoenix in the cosplay. Now Sand King, oh, this guy is such an idiot. He doesn't even have Caustic Finale leveled up. So it's not going to be so hard in there. I wonder if he's even going to level up Caustic Finale at all. Like, what is he doing in the offlane without Caustic? Right, so we're also going to look at your last hits. Now, there have been 8 creeps in your lane so far, and you've literally only had 2 CS. You did not really have any contest. This Phoenix wasn't harassing you. This guy wasn't even, he didn't have Caustic Finale. Had a Quelling Blade to start off with. You have very decent damage. You need to practice your last hit. That is like,
Okay.
you cannot be at 2K and not have decent last hits, because this is quite unacceptable.
Okay.
You're getting 1 CS per creep wave at the moment. It's exactly 25% efficiency. That's a mistake. Right. So talk me through a little bit about your decision making. Uh, a nice bug belt. So talk me a little bit about your decision making right here.
Okay.
Why you chose to
So
go.
I was gonna try to get some last hit from those creeps, and then I got stunned, so I
Oh
kind
no
of
no.
wanted to
What
run
I mean
away.
is, why did you decide to go to the neutral creeps rather than come to the lane creeps?
I don't know actually. I kind of just did it. I probably wasn't like thinking through it
Okay,
at the
so
time.
as a rule of thumb, when the support pulls,
Yeah.
you want to let the support take the XP for the creeps, as a rule of thumb. Secondly,
Okay.
always know that if it's a strong offlaner, and especially if it's dual offlane, they will always contest the pull. So each heart camp will give you around 124 average, 124 XP gold, right? 124
Okay.
gold average gold. So a big camp, a large camp will give you 124 gold on average. Each one of these creeps gives you 40, close to 40 gold. Means 4 of these creeps will give you 160 gold. And similarly, each one of these creeps, so the combined, these guys will give you around 200 XP, and combined the fat camp or the big camp will give you 200 XP, right? So the XP is almost the same, but you definitely go get more gold, almost 25% more gold from the lane creeps than you will get even from the hard camp. So definitely, it's more important that you come to the lane to get the farm. Now you might argue, well, there's two hard camps. They just stack. There's two hard camps. Yes, now it's 240 gold worth of 240 gold worth of creeps here, and it's just 180 worth here. But the thing is, you're not even level 3 yet. You need level like what? It doesn't even matter what level you need. You can't tank right now. You go there, you
Yeah.
spin. Okay, at level 3, your spin will deal enough damage. No, you need level 4. You need level 4 for your spin to deal enough damage to clear out a double stack. Right, level
Oh.
4 means you're level 7. Even at level 7, if you go there to take the double stack, you will die. They will kill
Oh.
you. The creeps will kill you. So there is absolutely no point going to this camp until you have some tanky item. If you go for a vanguard early on, then and if you've got good farm, then yeah, maybe by level 7
Does
you can have.
does Jug go Vanguard?
Yeah, absolutely,
Juggernaut?
absolutely.
What do you build after the Vanguard?
You build your regular items. Now the only
Oh.
issue with the Vanguard is that you'll have Vanguard and Phase Boost Vanguard or Treads Vanguard by 12 13 minutes. The only thing is then you lack a bit damage. But
Yeah.
the thing that you have to consider is, does my team do enough damage, or does the enemy team actually have so much burst that I actually can't even do damage if I don't have HP? So in those kind of situations, you are gonna go Vanguard, and after Vanguard, you're gonna go for your typical items like Manta, Diffuser. So one of my favorite builds on Juggernaut is, and this is like, don't get fixated on this build because literally
Yeah.
every single game you have to think about your build. And you have to change your build accordingly. One of my favorite builds on Juggernaut is the Manta Diffuser build because it's a very great combination. It's even further versatile combination on Juggernaut because it's a combination of damage plus escapability plus some Manta can you can dodge spells with it and all of that. So, you can purge off silence and all that. So it's really
Yeah.
fantastic all around. And then Diffusal, it destroys their mana, it adds more damage. So it's all of those fantastic things. But coming back to this part that we were talking about, you need to go to the lane creeps. Even if it's a triple stack, you need to go to the lane creeps. You have to know when you can contest it or not. And I'm saying, if even if there was no offlaner you needed to come to creeps, if there are offlaners, guaranteed they're going to contest it. If there's especially two offlaners, or if it's a strong offlaner, guaranteed they're going to
Yeah.
contest it, and you're going to end up in a situation like exactly this one where now you have 200 HP, and you just got your healing ward destroyed as well. And this is where I was talking about, like, already you had one CS per creep wave, um, and now you've actually got almost no region. You've got no burst region for sure, because if you'd add a cell right now, you'd be full HP, but you don't have cell, and on top of that, uh, you're gonna get even worse than the CS department. You want to definitely
Oh.
stay away from the sand. Definitely big mistake not microing your healing ward there. It
Yeah.
maybe you could have gone up to full HP with it, but you missed micro. Another thing that you need to learn is how to creep aggro, especially when you are laning against a Sand King. The only way to farm is by creep aggro. You understand? You know how to creep aggro? You know what it means?
Um. Creep back?
Creep aggro.
No. No, I don't
So,
know what that is.
so creep aggro means that if you are standing within 500 units of the creeps, of the lane creeps, and you right click any enemy hero, any hero on the map. Obviously, the best one is the one closest to you because you don't have to switch screen and whatnot. But
Yeah.
if you click that hero, these creeps, the ones which are within the 500
Oh.
AoE, will attack you, will move towards
Okay.
you. And then what you do is you stand over, so you want to draw these creeps back. Obviously, it's a bit too late at this point, but when this creep is like about this much HP, you want to stand over here, you want to right click the Sand King, these two creeps will move back, and then they're away from your melee creep, which the Sand King has already caustic finale. So you
Yeah.
can actually get these last hits without having to worry about this damage coming in from caustic finale. I would not be surprised if you die. And right, so this is what I talked about. There is now no point in looking at this game.
Yeah.
Because not only because of your starting items, but also, well, to be honest, I did expect you to die around 4 minutes. The Sand King, his leveling of his skills is horrendous, right? Level 3, he wants 2 points in caustic finale, and he actually ends up at level 4. Even he doesn't have 2 points in caustic finale. So this guy would have killed you a lot sooner if you'd been playing correct. Even if you
Uh-huh.
hadn't contested this uh, this camp. If you hadn't contested this camp, you may have survived for another minute. But after that, you definitely, as soon as this guy puts another point in finale, the way you're playing, you're guaranteed it. So you're starting at so here we go. You've got 2 points in this skill. Let's see how much this skill actually. Wow, this guy didn't even move. That is just sad. So once again, you find yourself, you went to base, you died, you came back, you still did not bring any healing with you. No HP regen, no mana regen. Now, if you bring
Yeah.
tons of mana regen with you, and you have maybe level, okay, even if you have level 1 healing ward, which doesn't do that much because it's percentage HP, you don't have that much HP, 2% HP, it's for 25 seconds, it's going to give you 50% of your HP back, which is pretty decent. But it's not a lot, it's not a lot. You need like 75% of your HP back for with the healing ward. You need like the 3% healing ward,
Oh.
level 2. So even if you had like 3 clarities here, I would have been like, it's not really good because they can cancel your clarity so easily. But I would have been like, okay, it's something. But right now you have nothing, you know,
Yeah.
and you're not microing your healing at all. There you go. Like CS, okay, you've got some. You cannot play carry like this, honestly. If you are CS, 2K is actually average. Uh, it's not that low as an MMR. Like 2K skill is actually average. It's where the majority of the Dota 2 community is. It's actually pretty decent. But last hitting like this, that is not acceptable at all as a carry. And 2K, you have to have on. Let's see. Last hits. This is the Weaver who is playing carry. Right, 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes in, 5 minutes in, 8 5s are 40. So at 5 minutes, there have been 44 creeps in the lane. Weaver has got 27 of those creeps. He was carry, I think. Um, this guy has got 23 of them. He was mid. You don't expect mid to always farm that good, but this guy's doing okay. He's not too great. This guy is playing what, support or offlane? This guy's playing offlane. Even he has more CS than you.
Yeah.
So your CS is definitely not good at all. At all. You're struggling heavily. So the best thing I can tell you here is that you need to go to this arcade. You need to go to this game called Last Hit Challenge. You need to
Oh.
find this game. You need to practice it. Actually, even before you go into this game, you need some YouTube tutorials on how to last hit better and some tips and tricks on how to last hit because you are really struggling in last hit department. And then you just don't play Dota. Literally, play like 10 hours of lasted practice before you play your next Dota game. Because if you are playing carry and you're not farming, then what's the point of playing carry?
Yeah.
It's 7 minutes in, you don't even have your first item, not even upgraded boots. By this time, you should have phase boots and a Kila. Like I'm literally not being too harsh on you because this is
Yeah,
who I
no,
am.
no, it's okay.
Any one of my visits that you I know I've got the stats. Okay, 8 minutes in, I've got Aquila, Phase, and a Ring of Health. And this is a game which actually didn't go so well either. So,
Oh,
8 minutes in, you don't even have one of those items. Okay, now you've got killed the sand. But because you don't have mana or HP, you have to go all the way back to base. If you look at the
yeah.
XP, if you look at the XP per minute, you're not doing too bad. How is this possible, actually? Maybe you got a lot of XP for killing the sand. Let's see where you were just before you killed the sand. Huh. Okay, so you were below the you were actually below the spirit breaker, even the XP, and then when you kill the sand, you actually got enough XP. But now you're definitely gonna struggle even in the farm and everything because you had to go all the way back to base. You had to walk all the way back to base instead of having, some region items. Now you
Yeah.
went for phase boots. Now what does phase boots do for you? Phase boot lets you chase people, and phase boots lets you disengage or run away from people. You are
Okay.
not chasing anybody, and you're kind of not really running away. But what you are getting is harassed. So you literally just need region. You needed that ring of health
Yeah, Ring of
as
Health.
soon as possible. Yeah, as soon as possible. What is this spin gonna do for you? Nothing. This guy is just an idiot. He doesn't know he can move. There's no way he dies here. There's absolutely no way he should die here. He
Yeah.
uses sandstorm and immediately starts walking back. Immediately. There's no way he would have died here. Alright, so I'm gonna end the replay here. Um,
Okay.
because you've already made so many mistakes, so many basic mistakes that you have to. There's no point of you. You have to fix these mistakes before you can think about going to the mid game or the late game. Let's look at the
Okay.
timing. It looks like this was one of your worst games, one of your worst games as well. But I mean, having the Sand King plus a Phoenix offlane is no easy task. But you didn't really uh, change your build. You didn't really say that okay, this is a hard lane, so I should adjust. So you just kind of just went in for the build that you normally go for or something.
Yeah. So what do you think I should have got for that? Should I have gotten a Vanguard?
Not necessarily. Vanguard doesn't really help you that much against Ursa. Vanguard does help you against this guy, against
Yeah.
Ursa, not so much. Also, you want to break the egg, so if you get Fire Spirits, you want to get Manta. So I think this game you would should have gone for. Um, actually, I
Third.
think this is one of those rare games where I actually would have gone for Strength Treads. You don't need Phase Treads because you're literally not going to get any kills in the lane. And when it comes to chasing, if Ursa claps, then phase treads, even travels, you're dead. If you're not going to
Oh.
run away, so you need that purge again. So I think I would have gone for strength treads into just a casual ring of health for the region, and Aquila, of course, always Aquila, and then I would have rushed the Manta because this is a game where you really, really need the Manta. And
Would
after
you have gotten Achilles?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Aquila has Aquila has a
Oh,
core. Um, I might have even got a Silver Edge this game, to be honest, because
oh
if
really?
you use Silver Edge on the Ursa, you break his passive. He doesn't get Fury, Fury swipes.
But
Fury
would a
swipes, yeah.
diffusal would a
Hmm?
diffusal break his passive?
No, Diffuser doesn't break passives. Silver Edge breaks passives.
Oh, okay, okay.
And also Silver Edge reduces the damage output by 50%. So even if Ursa is hitting you, you don't really care. He's not dealing that much damage to you.
Let's see.
Well, I mean, you've already disabled his passive, so he's not going to deal any damage to you. Ursa doesn't right click that hard. It's build up
Yeah.
the stacks that actually deals damage. So I think this game, what did this guy? This guy already has Shadow Blade, so I'll probably not gone for Shadowblade then because this guy. So when you are in a game and you are going to go for Shadowblade, you need to look at your teammates and make sure that there isn't somebody who's going to be making a Shadowblade. So just ask your teammates, anybody going for Shadowblade? If somebody says yes, then don't go for it. Obviously,
Oh,
that doesn't mean that if you're a slug, go for the Shadowblade. But what it means
yeah.
is that the other person, if you're a slug, then the other person shouldn't build Shadowblade. And that's why you don't want to have too many invis people who build invis on your team. Anyway, so yeah, so we uh,